Changers talk show will start. Rewriting the rules. Welcome to the Game Changers talk show. It's RUKE and several other characters, sometimes called friends, are gonna take you on an epic adventure of business insights and office mischief. Play along as we win the game of business. Let's play.
All right, I'm excited about this broadcast. I'm gonna get the evil RUKE out. All right, so here's my question. Y'all know what? See, y'all don't get to see the titles. And I'm gonna tell you the title of this one. And don't go cheating. I'll tell you what the title of it is. So for those out there beyond the lens, we hang out for about an hour going over real things, and y'all are talking about, y'all were bragging like heck about me, making me all shy. I love y'all about us getting clients and all that great stuff. But we hang out there, and so then we just go live this hour. Okay, too much. Maybe I'm a little ranty today or rambling today, but check this out. Oh, I've been waiting to do this one. The title, today's title is, that no one asked, and that's okay, because y'all trust me. Today's title is Robots Are Destroying Your Marketing. And I love it. I love it. And it is. I gotta tell you, okay, so I'm gonna be a little ranty today, and part of this will be I will be going to a more positive spin as well. So I'm going to go to the positive right now. You know, it's kind of like, right now there's a little fascination, a little fixation I got going in the world, our world, about LinkedIn, y'all's world, our world, because a lot of us are coaches, consultants, service companies, and B2B is a really big deal. I am just freaking amazing at LinkedIn. Am I right? Who said it? It was John said, if it doesn't work, I did it wrong, because RUKE, your stuff always works, right, John? All right, thank you, John. I appreciate that. I am so amazing. My LinkedIn stuff is like so incredible because everybody else's sucks so bad. I'm not telling you I'm great at LinkedIn. I haven't been pretty good at it. But it's so impactful because it's so contrasting about how horrible people do LinkedIn. You know, I actually had a salesperson hit me up, and I said, "Oh, I love ChatGPT," and they wrote, and it had everything. It had the bad marketing. So I'm gonna talk about how the robots are killing your sales. They are, but I love it. And so he was saying, "I'm like, I love ChatGPT because I didn't use chat, and it had to match and unlock all that stuff." I said, "Yeah, go Google what you just wrote. It's out there everywhere. It's so generic." I love the fact that the robots are destroying other people's marketing, because it's not going to destroy yours. Because when you come in with the superhuman attitude that I'm going to talk to you all about today, kind of show you some tips, some things you should be changing, you're going to stand out like kings and queens. It's going to be amazing. That's why your LinkedIn works so well. It works so well because the stuff that's out there is just so bad. Y'all dig it? All right. So I was sitting there working on some marketing stuff. So I was playing in my playroom this weekend again. And y'all know that even when I'm playing, I'm reimagining, walking around from the studio. Okay, in my head, writing copy, reformatting stuff. And so I was working on something for the Great Discovery, which I love. Love my Great Discovery. Get my Lucky in the house. A little prop to my boy Lucky. So we're redoing some of the website stuff there, and part of it was I wanted to help with some of the I was requested, and it's what I do, help with the messaging, and I want to do that, and then I was also reflecting in, okay, what about us? Let me reflect that, because I had a point, and then I went, okay, yeah, boom, boom, and I did this, and I want to tell you what really, really nailed it for me to talk about this subject matter. And by the way, I'm redoing some things because of how the robots are destroying everything. So, before I get into the granular part, I'd like to ask you or remind you of a little story. How many of you all have heard of this incredible, amazing MP3 player called Zune. Zune. Yeah, come on, Geeky John. Zune. Zune is a Microsoft MP3 player. It's an early one. It was fastest, best, connected, the most easiest to use. It was ridiculously great. I loved it because I could plug it into my Xbox. This is how well it worked with their systems. Though in the Xbox, I could listen to it while I'm playing video games, which is a big deal. Amazing. The best on the market. Y'all never heard of it. Just me and John. It's interesting. So, in their marketing of the Zune, I'm going to make up stats because I don't remember them, but it's this much gig of storage, this much megahertz, sound waves this big. I mean, it got into the geeky stuff. That was all their marketing. You know where I'm going with this, right? And this little company called Apple said, "Hey, we got an MP3 player, and you can put 1,000 songs in your pocket." Overnight, Zune was done. And see, when I look at this, and this is the robots too, okay? What spurred, and by the way, I knowingly, unknowingly, I don't know, but that's what I call desired results. That's the human speak that we've been using forever here about what's the real conversation. What's the real results? Not feature benefit like Microsoft was doing. What's the desired results? And Apple's always done that. In the past, not necessarily here. Now, they're kind of weird company at this point, but they would always talk towards the desired results. Y'all dig that, right? So there's a difference between 1,000 megabytes in your hand versus 1,000 songs. Okay. So that's what we need to focus on. And now the problem I have with the robots, and again, I've done, what did I do? There's like a couple events I have coming up. I'm speaking at and all that good stuff. Cool stuff. Oh, but I'm coming to Fort Lauderdale. I forgot to tell y'all that. Don't let me forget that. We got to hang out in Fort Lauderdale. And as I'm doing it, I'm going, okay. And as I saw what I was putting out there, I'm like, okay, there's a pattern. It's not a bad pattern. It's the right stuff. But I'm also noticing how chat has kind of influenced this. Or not mine, but chat is influencing marketing. And part of it is your standard, like, imagine, imagine this, unlock this, and those kind of weird words everybody's using. And then it gives you a paragraph, and then it starts giving you bullet points. Now, that's been our formulas before chat was even thought of. Y'all know that, right? So that's something that we are concise, good stuff. And while we use that a lot, and chat kind of gets it and expands upon it, what ChatGPT is doing is it's talking features and benefits. And what people are doing is they're copy and paste it. It cannot talk to you about desired results. It can't be the human. First of all, it's not artificial intelligence, it's machine learning, which is very, very advanced. And I use chat every day. I'm not against it. It's how you use it that matters. And so as I was looking at that, and I was pulling up other people's marketing, because I'll audit, I'll sit back and I'll look at things. It is so evident. Everybody is marketing format-wise, word-wise, attitude-wise. It's all the same. It's all the same. Now, I am going to say ours is different, but it's also close enough of a structure that's good that people are ignoring your marketing. Totally ignoring your marketing. One thing that it does, even worse, is it expands. And I got to tell you, people, when they use ChatGPT, they go, "Oh, look!" And this is the emotion that they get, and this is why they use it. This is why it sucks, and why the robots are destroying your marketing. But I love it because we're not going to do it this way. We're going to talk about some solutions that make you stand out even beyond belief. They look at this and go, "Oh, well, that's smart. I didn't have to write that. I didn't have to use brain cells on that. And look how it expanded. That's clever." And okay, it's kind of like this. All right, let's pick on Jesus for a minute. I'll pause for that second. So it's like Christian music. Do you know why Christian music fundamentally just sucks? Do you know why Christian music... Titan Joy, you ready for this? This is why. I'm not picking on Jesus. But do you know why Christian music sucks? It really does. A lot of it really does. Some of it's good, but it does. Because it's self-fulfilling. So when you're writing and playing Christian music, it is a ritual of worship that you're doing, but you're creating, but you're doing, right? And so a lot of artists can't determine between their personal satisfaction because it is worship versus will other people relate to it, right? Where it's secular music, there's a critical eye on that. Does that make sense? Will people care about that? Is it good? There isn't that outside emotion of worship brought to it. That's why a lot of Christian music totally sucks, because they got their endorphins off because they're worshiping God while they're creating it, and they think we will. And it's like, no, that was your little spiritual awakening, not ours. You get it? So that was safe. Was that safe? Was that safe? Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So y'all understand that. When people are raising, I told you I'm in the mood today. Yeah, I love y'all. And so I was sitting there. I was in Bible study. I have an incredible pastor. Side note to the side note to the side note. I have an incredible pastor. And he was talking about how, God's a thought, and then we have to make it known. So we say it's a white man, which is funny, that's a man, because that's another joke, but it's real. That white man with a white beard, and he has to have a house, so that's a church, and then he has to have a book, so we understand him, so that's the Bible, and then he has to have the pearly gates, because he has to have an entrance. You know what I mean? All these things that we make him known. And he's talking about, are we worshiping the thing, or are we worshiping, or is it leading to a worshiping of God? And of course he looked at me and goes, Bruce got more. He's got more altars than we do in our whole church in his house. And I did it. And I was like, hey, I wear a rosary. I don't know if I wear a rosary every day. And it's not, and he goes, but you're not, he goes, yeah, but you're not even Catholic. I go, no. I said, but for me, it's a reminder. It allows me to remind me when I pray and think, and, the mindfulness. That's what's really, really good about it. See, we're going all over the place. Right there, John. Got it. Love it. I love it. And this is my cheap one. And this whole thing's filled with rosaries. Right, so the point of that is, and I said the only thing I do, because he was talking about how to are we worship the thing, or are we allowing that thing to allow us to worship? And I said, hey, the only thing I really worship is my wife. Right back down, there you go, which is true. Wife felt kind of she blushed a little bit because it was in public. But going back to this, it's self-fulfilling. When you're reading your chat, what ChatGPT wrote about you on your idea, most of it is, some of it's not, right? When you read that, you go, oh, look at all this other stuff about my idea. It's expanding, pontificating, big word, come on, pontificating on your idea. And your endorphins go off. You're like, oh, that's smart. I've never seen that, but you never critically look at it and go, does anybody give a? You don't. And so you put it out there. And everybody's putting it out there. Right? And so it's like, it's horrible marketing. And here's what it says. And again, I use ChatGPT. It says generically. This is bad. Okay. I'm trying to think. Did I say that to no. Oh, I know I said this. I was like, I don't know if I said this to y'all. I'll say it to the public, though. It generically says you're lazy, you're uncreative, you don't care. Generically, it says you're doing as little work as possible to make money. That's what it says, because you didn't do the work. That's not true, but I'm just telling you that's emotionally what it says to a lot of people, especially when they're using it and they're not getting results. And when you look at this, and chat is telling, but understand this, people are copying and pasting what chat writes, and chat sucks. We played this game, right? How many of y'all had suggested to you the word imagine? And your last 5 projects, how many of y'all seen the word imagine? Raise your hands. Okay. How many of y'all saw the word unlock? Right. Chat is going, hey, this is what you should use, and everybody's using it. Therefore, it's good, and it's destroying your marketing. It's just like the LinkedIn thing, the H words. Hey, hello, hi. Don't ever use it in LinkedIn. It's bad. Because that was a good and a bad. A bad because everybody's saying it. Therefore, you can't. You can't use these things because chat's destroying it. And by the way, when you don't use it and you start interjecting yourself, which we're going to get into, it's beautiful. It's there. All right, one more rant. Two more rants. Let's pick on that crappy coach and consultant that ripped you off. Right? Let's talk about these little slicksters, these jerk faces. You know, this is what chat reminds you of. Because you're like, okay, because like there's these coaches out there that go, you get it, you've dealt with them. That's why you come to me and go, gosh, I hate this stuff. So they're like, come to me. Right? It's their like, I'm going to do one call a month. Here's 30 videos to watch. Here's a homework. If you don't do it, you can't be on the call. You know what I'm talking about, right? The ones that built an entire system so they could put the least amount of, they lied to the world, least amount of work to make the most amount of money because they feel why they're entitled to it, which is all bull. They don't come to you. That's why y'all love me, right? Because I go where you're at. I come to you. You don't come to me, I come to you. That's the difference. And that's what we do as game changers because we're changing the world. So when you see, but listen, when we see chat, least amount of effort to make the most amount of money out of you, to trick you into this, it transfers and triggers these bad feelings that we've had when we've been done wrong. Did y'all see this? Why it's destroying the marketing? Let me take it one more. I said two more. That was one. Here's the second one. Remember the software called Confusionsoft? Infusionsoft? We in the industry call it Confusionsoft. Infusionsoft, the biggest CRM on the planet. Such a horrible experience because they wouldn't progress. They built a clunky machine and they just sold it. They never were able to progress with it. So bad, they had to redo it and just call it Keep. The Keep system is Infusionsoft's company. The predecessor was Confusionsoft because that's what we called it. It was so limited on their emails. It was so bad, they destroyed themselves because they were such a horrible experience. Customer service, bad. People hate them. When you got an email from them, anybody using it, not them, anybody using the system, it all looked the same. Do you know what I'm talking about? Email marketers, you know it's Infusionsoft. And so it doesn't matter what, and this is what I'm trying to tell you right now. This is the point here. It doesn't matter if your content was good or bad, the offer is good or bad. We hate it because we have a relationship with the technology we don't like. And that's what's psychologically hitting us before your message. Infusionsoft destroyed themselves because they suck so bad that people, when they received other people's emails, were reminded of how much they hate Infusionsoft that they wouldn't even buy your stuff. Do you get it? The emotional trigger of the technology was sending off bad vibes, and we couldn't even get to the good stuff. That is what ChatGPT is doing right now. That's why the robots are destroying marketing. Because it all is not only saying the same words over and over again, it's formatted the same way, and people aren't changing it, and people are ignoring it. Now, questions or comments before I go to the next phase? Are y'all digging this? Y'all catching what I'm throwing out there? Okay. So, anybody want to say something? You want me to just keep going? I don't want to ignore that I have my friends here. I keep going. All right. So what do we do about it? I love it. I love it. Everybody's marketing is so freaking horrible. If you put an ounce of your creativity, your vision, your personality, you win. World, remember this. What I do the most of my work I do is, one, unsales train you, unmarket you, and unbrand you. That's what I do. So when you do not let chat do this, and listen, I use chat for editing, grammar, spelling, and all that. And I always tell, do not rewrite my stuff. Bad chat. Don't you do that. I do use chat for things as a utility, but not as a creation. This doesn't do my creations. It doesn't do my strategy. It doesn't handle any of that stuff. I write my headlines. Now, we've all played with chat, but we put the core there. Will it give me a word here, there? Yes, love that word. Change it here. But I never copy, paste, and direct. I write the value points for my stuff. Here's what people respect. This is what people want. It gives it back, and I'll change it. And I'll definitely read it twice to make sure there wasn't imagine, unlock, and all the weird words that it puts in. So I'm saying use ChatGPT, but use as a utility, not as the product creator. And that's what people are doing. So I'll kind of show you what I started doing this morning. Because I was like, all right, I don't like what it's producing. Let me start producing some stuff that is going to change some stuff up. I'll give you, and I hope this helps. Again, this is beyond a draft, beyond a draft product, meaning it's pretty dialed in. But I want to give this to you as a format to focus on how can you do your marketing and cut through the noise. How can you be the good content rather than the obvious chat GPT rhetoric out there that's people going, I don't even value what you're doing because you're not valuing it. Make sense? Whether you are or not, that's the perception. That's not a judgment. Whether you are or not, that is the perception. So, I want to give you a before too. Might as well give you that. Yeah, get a little before and after here. Showing you how I'm doing this, and it's so simple. For at least my solution for what we're doing is so simple, but it's also so powerful. And give me one second. I'm going to pull up my old version of it, and this email will go out, I don't know, here shortly. All right. And again, my stuff's good. But I had to change. Because chat is destroying it. I had to do something drastically different because of this. Not drastically. You get my point. You get it. All right. So before I show you this, and I know you go, oh, that's so pretty. Because I love y'all. Y'all are wonderful. I'm gonna tell you the theories of what it is and why it's important and all that fun stuff. Okay. So typically, and I know that for you members, I'm gonna put both of them in chat for you. I'm gonna share it on the screen if it's a little bit blurry for you because it's the broadcast. My apologies, but I am putting the before and after. It's in there. All right. So check this out. All right. So this is, a really great articulation of our event, right? You got the logo, sales, you got the sentence, bullet points, and all that. It's not bad. You can't see chat in this. I mean, chat didn't do it. I'm sure it helped with something. Well, first of all, I'm sure it helped with a couple things, but it's absolutely RUKE, right? It's my attitude, my brand, the whole 9 yards. All right, not bad. But it's still, with the bullet points like this, was one big flag for me. I'm going, because a lot of people are doing the bullet point thing, right? A lot of people are picking up on that. So here is where I'm changing it to, right? So here it is. Great stuff. Not bad at all. Here's how it's being how we're changing. And I'm doing this so that you model this. So the first are emails. Yeah, we're starting to put more options into them, like register, event, and all that. Kind of, it's a good thing to do. The logo here is its own container. And then the headline, and this is what I want to point out to you. The headline by itself, the main message I want you to get, has so much negative space in its own creative box that you can't ignore it. That thought is not being ignored. Y'all feel that? Because if you resonate with that one thought, you're going to go more. Now, I have what you see to the right to the left is mirrored the same. Pretty close. I arranged it a little bit for size and all that. And then my second thought, instead of your normal bullet points, again, just right, clean, super negative space around it. A lot of breathing room. Your unstoppable your game plan to unstoppable sales. And then where we would actually have, let's start making the money you deserve here at the bottom, I have it right there. So it basically has 3 headlines, but it walks you through the psychology of why this is important. Y'all like that? You like that look and feel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can't, and I'm showing that to you because I looked at this and going, what would chat do? And what would chat not do? And I'm doing what chat would not do. I mean, it has technically 3 headlines in it. And not the little colon ... crappy thing that always puts in. Chat can't write a headline. Quit asking chat to write your headlines. It can't write a headline. It cannot write a headline. It gives you 2 thoughts, 2 different angles. It writes a headline and a subheadline, and no one's using it that way. And by the way, if your headline's good enough, you don't need a subheadline. That's the other thing about this. If you look at this, this is just messaging. This is 1,000 songs in your pocket messaging. Get real sales with LinkedIn. Boom. Your game plan to unstoppable sales. Boom. Let's start making the money you deserve. Boom. This is super, super to the point. Not features and benefits. You'll discover, imagine, unlock, unleash. Chat can't write like this. Only humans can. So how does this change your marketing? How does this change your messaging? First, be bold, be you. 2, make it stand out that way. Shake up your design a little bit. And again, let the words speak for themselves, but don't put a lot of words. These are 3 different thoughts. I mean, it's an actionable email, right? So you have to have the front headline. You have to have a little bit of what you get, and you have to have a call to action. And a lot of times we bury our call to action. I mean, for y'all, I mean, yeah, that's a big tip that's going to change your marketing right now. You know, this whole, hi, how you doing? I hit the wrong button. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. There. This call to action, let's start making the money you deserve. Boom. That's a call to action. You can't ignore it. What you get, you can't ignore it. So I'm sharing that with you is look at the stuff that you're putting out there. You know, a lot of my writing, what I do is I that hard, no, or I don't know. Chris, help me. The shift R, the return, shift, not R, return, soft return, whatever. I do that a couple times, or hard return, whatever it's called. I do that a couple times to break up the thoughts. See, that's what chat can't do. It can't break up thoughts. It just puts it all together and combines multiple thoughts, jumbled, crammed into headlines, into paragraphs. I'm talking so much.
Also, cannot edit your stuff. I just had several. I've had several people come to me and are like, "Can you re-edit our stuff or our whatever they're working on?" Because
why can't you just use chat?
And then, and they're like, because ChatGPT messed it up. So don't use it for polishing edits.
It can't be a final product for anything.
No, not at all.
But people are using it, and I want you to use it. I need you to be you. I need you to interject your brain, your thoughts, your genius, your headlines. And again, if you want to use it for a little bit of idealization, fine. If you want to use it to brainstorm and maybe expand upon, fine. But understand, the biggest command that I say the most, repetitively, don't rewrite it. Keep my attitude, tone, framework, and make it 3 times shorter.
It's great for rubber ducking, basically.
Rubber ducking? Tell me what that is. I get it, but I've never heard the term.
So, it's basically this term that came out of IT where they would have these little rubber ducks and they toss them to each other with different ideas. So rubber ducking.
Got it. I just brought you up just for that at the end of it. Sorry.
Hey,
My buttons and my timing on my buttons a little bit short today. Yeah. I can tell you at this point, if you go back the way you were marketing and position yourself 5 years ago, 3 years ago, you'd probably be doing better than you are now. Obviously, as game changers, I'm going to keep you on top of all that stuff. But I'm just saying that's now different because everybody is just copy and pasting a lot of information. Their endorphins are going off. They feel because it's their stuff. They can't critically look at their own stuff because they like their baby's pretty, right? It's a beautiful baby. They can't critically look at it. They're putting it out there. And what's happening is when we started using ChatGPT for this stuff, which was working, it's not working anymore. Because we're all inherently going, I've read that before. I've seen that before. I don't like that. I know it's chat. I know it's lazy. I know it's quick. They didn't even pay attention. The stigma comes into it. So that means we get to do really cool stuff. Dr. Joy, how are you, dear?
Well, I'm always well, even when I'm not. Everyone knows that by now. But listen, the bottom line is that you shared this briefly with us before, and I took this to heart. And what you said is that there's nothing with ChatGPT that we can't do but make it ours, use exactly all the verbiage you just said. And you said make it simple, easy, and keep your genius and be bold and so on. And I just use different verbiage because I'm long-winded, as everybody knows. But I say keep my flair, my flavor, and my flow. Shorten the words, make it brief, make it succinct, and make it allow it to stay within the framework of what I'm conveying, where it will entice, excite, and ignite something and others to want to connect more. And everything that I've written so far, when it comes back, I've had to make very few revisions. So this is just doubling up on what you shared with us before, which, as usual, I took to heart. So thank you for this.
Yeah. But here's the deal. I want y'all just check this, because I'm with you. I think Chris would say the same thing. I think everybody here would say the same thing to what I'm about to say. Why did you have to give chat so much not to do? Right? Why did you have to give chat so many parameters of not what to be?
I love that question.
I know, right? That says fundamentally it's disgustingly wrong, flawed.
And it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
And the problem is if there's a hint of chat. That's why I said don't use the word imagine. Well, RUKE, I had someone say I didn't use ChatGPT. I said great, but chat's ruined it.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Chat, even the good formatting, chat's ruined it. I'm mixing mine up because chat's ruined it. It's made people so close, we start getting invisible because it sucks. Robots are destroying the marketing, and I love it. Chris, what were you saying?
I said it's even ruined my colons on me.
I know you can't use it. Can't use a colon. It has destroyed colons. It's horrible.
Yes, it is.
So,
I will say because we, I can't tell you how many people have come to me and like, I wrote a book or I wrote this or that, and then I read it and I'm like, no, you didn't, because it's obviously ChatGPT, and there's nothing wrong with using it to kind of spitball all those things. But I'm telling you, if you go and you put this out on the market, people will know immediately that it is ChatGPT. I know it as by the first page. I'm like, that's ChatGPT. And if you're going to use that, you're going to have to acknowledge that you used AI and it affects your sales. So just wanted to put that out there.
Well, I think it affects your sales, not just your sales because they're going to push back on the platforms, but it's going to affect your sales period because it's crap.
It is.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of hit this today to kind of share with y'all like what I'm seeing, what I'm doing, the patterns I'm seeing, why we're falling into that pattern, why it's easy to get into that trap, and how not to. Mm-hmm. That's why I really was like, man, I got to talk to my friends about this. Tomorrow we're going to talk about sales this way too, how robots are going to destroy your sales. But for your marketing, one of the great stuff, and again, that I look at is the work that we're doing really is coming down to the desired results. That is when you're speaking to the desired results of your audience, you're being human. That's the human factor. And what I would tell you is, and this is how I look at this, if you need a sub-headline to your headline sucks. Think about that. How many times do we put something out there and then have to write something to clarify it? Well, it's because we did it. By the way, chat does it all the time. It's the standard in chat. What big brands do you ever see do that? Right. You don't. If you have to give a paragraph to explain the value of your stuff, the points, your desired results bullets, so that we catch everybody up, even the players at home. There's features and benefits which came from the tech industry, and do not show your features and benefits on your website. If you're tech, I would even argue don't do it that as well. So the answer is no, don't even do it then too. But what the whole process of that is problem solution, and outcome of that needs to be desired results. So feature and benefit, that's your process, great. Problem solution, great as a process, but articulate the desired results. So I'll have the understanding of that. If your bullet points, which a lot of times desired results are handled that way, are so good you don't need a paragraph explaining it. And again, people fall in love with this. Endorphins go off. So like, oh, that's a great paragraph. Let's add it. Let's do this. Joy, Dr. Joy, one of my things about yours is I hear you. You're long-winded. Make sure it cuts it by 2/3.
Exactly. That's what I do.
Because we love our stuff, and we love our stuff when people, because all chat's doing is faking your endorphins. It's flattering you by pontificating. I love that big word. I've been stumbling upon. By expanding on how great you are, and how can you tell it no? Tell it no. It's a liar. It's not good. It's just flattering you. It's catfishing you. So keep it to desired results. Make those desired results short and sweet and bold, and a lot of good breathing room. I call that's negative space. I call that breathing room. Give it a lot of negative space around it so that people can catch that thought. I can't tell you how many emails, especially in the event space, where everything, here's a bold and then a paragraph and then bold and then paragraph and then bullet points. It's like, if your stuff sucks, it sucks. It's like, again, you don't need a sub-headline if your headline doesn't suck. You don't need all this information if your idea doesn't suck. Think about that. We're not, I'm going to go pick on you, Chris. Remember, there used to be the argument of short email versus long-form email? When we actually read, remember, people are starting to read this and go, I'm not reading anymore because it's chat and it sucks. Put your idea out there. Say why it's awesome. Say what they actually get from it. And let that stand. Let that stand. All right. That was my RUKE rant. All right, so y'all's thoughts. Your turn.
Well, RUKE, I think this is all, I know that this is all so timely. I always speak for me because the truth is some of us can acknowledge it and some of us can't. We are living in the Insta society. People want everything like that, and no one has or will make the time to go through any long, lengthy that doesn't narrow it down to whatever the desired results is going to be for them. So I have received all of this. Thank you.
Yeah. I rather, and as Lucky and I are developing things, strip away things, just strip away things. I'd rather it be just so simple, like it's uncomfortable simple for you all, rather than the opposite. Cool. So anybody want to bring up one of your promotional items, one of your marketing emails? You want to show anything, get some feedback from me?
Oh, I am so guilty when I was I was using um it was it wasn't Chat GPT, it was another uh AI software. And like I've been using it for building websites like landing pages,
Yeah.
and got a summit coming up, and like
Us.
I've got a whole blueprint that like it's getting the language from the people. And I don't know, I can pull that up if you want to have a look at that and see if that is the same of what like Chat GPT, like this. It isn't Chat GPT, but it is a uh, AI software.
Well,
Would you
Patrice
like me
asked me
to?
that again,
Okay.
though.
Okay, would you like me to? I've got a whole blueprint of the information I had gotten from the AI software that I wanted to build out our landing pages and such for our upcoming summit.
Right.
Would you like to have a look at that and
No, it
see?
sounds like it's horrible.
What?
Well, no, you got feedback because, like, okay, so can I
So,
use any?
well, no. What I'm saying is, like, it feels like it sounds like it's a horrible experience. Why would I want to be dragged through an AI chat blueprint? That sounds horrible. Yeah,
Well, it's
you
got all the bullet points and stuff, you know.
go ahead and if you want to put it in there, I'm happy to give you quick feedback. But I promise you, I'm going to tell chat to make it 2/3 less complicated, make it more human, and then you go back and you edit it.
Okay, I'll go dig it out and then I'll bring it up
Oh, I'm
to you.
happy to see it though. Yeah, please. Um, I wanted to, Chris, you gave me something, and I wanted to give you feedback on yours real quick too. So, this is all right. So Chris has her stuff up. Whoa, what did I do?
I know Michael Goldberg.
Okay, hold on, hold on.
We lost James.
What did it just do? My camera just took over. Well, we're going to sit here and stare at people's faces. Give me 1 second. Why in the world? I hit a button. Think I'm good? Yeah. There we go.
You have
All right.
a lot of buttons there.
I know. All right. So when I'm looking at your stuff here, okay, we got all zoomed up.
Yep. And this
Or
is
zoom
for
into the holidays. I think that's kind of cute. But I want a real headline, and this is a title. If you feel that is, but I want to know what the headline is of the value. The reason why I'm saying this is remember what I said 5 minutes ago.
yes. Well,
Yeah,
that was 5 minutes ago. I had already made this.
So give me a headline and why I should care. All zoom up for the holidays is totally fine. A festival of I don't think we need all this stuff, right?
Okay. It's a
Celebrating the authors of blah blah blah. I will tell you if this is kind of flyer, I take off dates.
Okay.
Off emails and all that kind of stuff, because if they're interested in the subject matter, then they're going to come see the date. I don't want anybody to go, December 6th, I think I'm busy right then, without knowing the value, right? But when it gets closer to the date, then you need to do that way. So here's, I'm going to show this to you because this is one that I'm doing. This is the networking group, and we're doing an event in Fort Lauderdale. The faces here, that's why I wanted to show you, is that the faces of the people are more valuable than this.
Well, that's why there's two all zoomed up there is because all zoomed up books there is because one of those books is going to become a face of one of the authors because I'm making individual ones of these for each author.
Okay. Well, so I like that. Here's my challenge. Okay. So I get that if you want to do it individually. I rather you have all of them and highlight them
Okay.
because it's because what you do is you want to tag them on social media individually.
Right.
Right. And that then goes into their feed and it's more shareable and all that. And I wouldn't want to miss that. Right.
And I'm also delivering each of the authors their own so they can use it in their marketing.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I want all of them equal, but the ones for them to use themselves,
Yeah.
make everybody else there, but make them top.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that.
You want to honor them and make them feel super special.
So if you don't like zoom into the holidays for the title, I mean for the headline, how would you headline a summit like this then?
I don't know what the value of it is.
Yeah. Okay.
We know what summits are. We know what workshops are. But what am I going to walk out of? That's the human part that we're missing here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
If I put 15
holiday
people-
celebration. A festive holiday celebration featuring your favorite all zoomed up authors. Enjoy reading, games, I don't mind saying reading, games, and prizes. I think that's quick. But what's the headline? I don't mind. It's holiday. It's festive. It's holiday. It's a celebration. You don't have to say that because your artwork says that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I put also the other thing is if I put 15 faces on this thing, do I just have all zoomed up holiday summit as a headline? And
No, the
then
headline's
just-
got to be what's the benefit? Why I'm gonna
Okay, that's okay.
Be inspired by. I mean, we already have here 18 experts, businesses, strategies in a post-pandemic world.
Yeah.
Right. So it's got to tie into that we're going to learn something from that.
Okay.
Hear inspiring stories from of business success.
You keep ruining all my clever things.
But they're okay. Yeah, but they're clever. And
they don't sell though.
Well, no, it's not that. No, and I appreciate that. I'm trying to pull one clever idea out for it, and the rest not. Right? So again, strategies in a post-pandemic world. Lean something into that. I don't like post-pandemic, that, but lean into this because hear the stories and hear the lessons, and that's a business success. That's something that people would be more interested in. And we can have a clever idea. We just can't have too many. There's got to be a practical. So have the clever idea and let the clever idea shine.
That makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Steve.
What's up, man? So I did a post last Thursday, and very low. It was like 300 views, which is a bit below average. So I'm looking into getting back to where I was like during the summer, where it was like close to 1,000 or more per post. And I'm wondering if it's because I haven't been as active. Yes, is that why?
Well, there's a couple reasons. And by the way, Patrice, I still haven't seen your link to whatever you wanted to show me. I just want to honor the fact that you asked. Okay.
I put it in the chat. It's a PDF.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the broadcast chat's showing it differently.
It doesn't have anything to do with being verified.
So I don't know about that, but I can tell you if your views you haven't posted in a while, that's a thing. And are you having conversations back and forth with people? Right. That's the biggest thing for me.
No, it's been pretty dead for like.
Right. That's what I would say. Even if you go tell a bunch of people jokes. Awesome seeing you. Hope you're having a wonderful week and nothing else. Spur those conversations. Right. That's going to help your views greatly.
What about hashtags? How important are they?
I don't even play into them anymore. I'm sure they're a
You know
thing.
what? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Patrice, you told me look at this. I'm going to look at this. I have no idea what I'm looking at. What am I looking at?
Okay, this is what I was pulling out from the, it was actually a database from customers, and it was pulled together by AI.
Oh, they're answering the questions.
Yeah, like what's your top challenges, what's your top, and that's what we want to pull our marketing material from. And
Well,
then
I think it's, yeah, so let me give you some feedback. I mean, this comes down to, I would say this is like step one.
yeah,
Step one is knowing the questions to ask. Step two is the answers. Okay, so this is all the things. I then would go through and pick like a handful of the top answers that you like the best,
yeah,
and then make derivatives of what you then rewrite and you resonate the most with.
yeah, and that I like it, not what ChatGPT.
And say what? You're soft spoken today.
Oh, sorry. Say what I like about it, not
Yep.
what ChatGPT.
Yeah, we miss the importance of that. If it's important to you, it's important to us.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And I know I often get lazy, and I just, well, I'll just throw it to, ChatGPT, and then you're.
But that's not. I'm not going to judge you lazy or not. But I don't mind that. But again, Chat just gave you all this great answers. Let me give. I'm talking to someone, one of our new members, who actually, I know they just joined, so they didn't have time to even come here. But you're going to join him, and they do AI, which is good. And I said, good. Let's make this the right one that works, that does well. From that, for what they do. I remember, I want to end with this story, and I remember having a member, and I was helping them with their social media, and they said, well, we're looking to bring on a social media person, and we want your ideas. And I said, well, idea is make some message around this, say this in your script, right? Go back and forth like this, right? Post a couple times here, but this is really where you drive the money. You know me, I'm going to go, great, social media, love it. It's a tool to drive money. This is how the money is driven. And they go, well, they gave us a whole plan. And they showed it to me. And the first thing I said, that's awesome. This is all ChatGPT, not even edited. I said, it's sloppy ChatGPT. It's like 3 pages, right? Like, hey, ChatGPT, I'm looking to do some social media. What's your ideas? And I said, so here's my problem. And 1, it's ChatGPT, copy and paste, not even any thought. They haven't even read it, I promise you. 2, you can't ever execute this. You don't have time, the resources, nor the fan base. It'll never happen. And 3, it's never going to make you money. It's just a bunch of ideas. People, it's like when I was it reminds me back in the day when I was working for agencies and I did have one recently ask me this, and we're like, we're good, we're done. See you later. Like, can we have more? We want to at least see 5 ideas. Why? Why? Do you want 1 or 2 like decent idea and then 3 fillers that are like, we want you, and God help you if you picked it, because it's going to suck. Why? Chat treats us like that. Right? I just want the 1 good idea. I don't need the 20 sucky ones. Cool? All right. Robots are destroying the marketing. I love it because that means we get to be more human and stand out with our creative minds. That will allow us, because that's over here. When we step up a little bit, it goes this far, makes us awesome. That said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do this for me. Boop, 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 boop. Like, subscribe, hit that bell every time.
Thanks for playing. Got something to say? Reach out at play@GameChangersTalkShow.com. What you've just heard are the opinions, ramblings, and maybe a dash of wisdom from our hosts and guests. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental and frankly, pretty impressive. Always remember, we might be entertaining, but we're not always right. Till next time, game on.